Kia ora, everybody. Welcome to the Unable Seaman podcast, the podcast designed to take a light-hearted look at all things boating and fishing in New Zealand. I'm your host, Jay Kerr, and joining me once again is my first mate, best mate, Christian Jensen. G'day, mate. How are you?
Yeah, bloody good. And it's a pleasure to be your honourable guest
Yeah,
on yet another podcast.
once again. Yeah. And we keep saying it. We should change it, but it's just I've got that in my head, and it's the only thing I can get out.
Well, you know what? As the best guest, may as well stay here.
You might as well stay here. Yeah, that's right. And we've had some great guests. We had Andrew from Powerboat Training. We've had Michael McRumney. We've had all sorts. But you've rung true and stayed the loyal guest, the loyal compadre.
That sticks around.
How you been, bro? You were just telling me off before we got on here that you've attempted to go fishing. Of course, we wrapped up in December last year. We had the summer off to go and do our own thing. This is our first podcast of 2024, so we're excited to be back. Tell us about your summer, Christian Jensen. I want to hear every fish you caught.
Oh God! Well, we went out. Actually, quite a few times. Took Piper out quite a few times. She loves the new boat. I saw that you sent me a link to try and sell this new boat.
I did.
I laughed about that. I said to the guy, I said, you can buy it for what I paid for it, what it owes me. And he was just fishing for a deal. He wanted a Bonito 151 with a 4-stroke outboard, low hours, and a new trailer. And he wanted to pay nothing for it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I said, you can have it for 20. And he's like, oh, it's out of my price range. I was like, sweet, I'll keep it then.
Piss off. Yeah.
Piss off.
Yeah.
But took Piper out a couple of times in the harbour and into the open ocean, out to Mana and all that. And she loved it. Last time we took her out, she put herself to sleep. Time before that was bedtime. We tried to get her down in bed out on the boat. Didn't work that well, but we had a lovely sunset. Old Chouse and I, and a kid that was overtired bouncing around the boat. It was great.
So we actually had a listener reach out. Gee, this is not a word of lie. We had a listener reach out who's gagging to hear about your boat, wants a review. Now, at some point, I'll come all the way down to Wellington and do a video review and tell you what I think.
Oh, yeah.
I told him pretty quickly my review of it. It was one word. But now that you've had a bit of time with your new boat, tell us what it's like.
For what I paid for it, it's got a brand new trailer. It's got a 100 horsepower 4-stroke Yamaha carbureted version, which is like as reliable as a coal burning stove.
Yeah,
it starts. It's freaking quiet. Like do you remember when I had the Honda and you'd keep starting it and you'd keep starting it when it was running because it was so quiet?
I did make this fuck up a few times. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd basically do that with it too. It's got plenty of boogie, like at chine walks. So I had it chine walking at like 37 knots or something. It was pretty terrifying. That was just me on it on a nice day.
37 knots. That's clipping along. I got 30 out of the ray glass the other day, I must admit.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty quick, bro.
Yeah, that was.
But like in terms of ride, like if I compare it to the Sea Nymph, right? The Sea Nymph ride's better. I think it's got a deeper V. It's got no running strakes. You sit lower in the water, so you don't feel like you're getting rocked around as much. Whereas this one, because you sit on those pedestal seats, you're up quite high.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a harsher ride, and I think that the running strakes or the planing strakes, I think it's an early, 80s, 90s boat. They were trying new things, and they put planing strakes on. They put too many, I think, and so it's got too much lift.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like when it hits a wave, you really feel it shake through the boat. It's not a smooth, Like I'd say that the Sea Nymph was a better riding boat, and it's shorter.
Yeah.
So
That's interesting.
But in terms of like, does it do everything that I want it to do? So I paid $14,000 for the boat. I spent another $2,000 on it. Getting the trim tilt motor fixed, getting that new upholstery for it, getting the middle center squab made up, and I got new fake teak, whatever flooring for it, and all that sort of shit. So for a $16,000 boat with a 4-stroke motor and a brand new trailer, mate.
It's good boating, and that's with times being a bit tighter. I think that's bloody cheap boating, and it sort of picks up on a bit of a theme I want to touch on today, which is the second-hand boat market. Jesus, it is dead. It is so dead. If you're trying
Yeah,
to sell
bro.
a boat right now, I really feel for you, particularly in those higher dollar values. I've seen
Man,
all
bro,
brands.
I'm seeing Haynes Hunter SR whatever 535s. You can
Yeah,
pick up one for 20 grand now.
yeah. Which
With
I
a
think's fair money.
Yeah, I was actually tempted. Like if this dude bought that boat off me, I was like, oh, but do I really want to go back to a two stroke? I was like, man, once you got the four stroke, it's
Yeah,
tough going back, bro. Like it
yeah.
is.
We've talked about that hull before on a previous podcast, and we do think they're one of the best like bang for buck boats going around. That 535 hull, it does pretty much
Oh,
everything. But I do think some of them are overpriced. And if you can get one for 20, even up to 30, it's good buying.
mm-hmm. Oh
But no
yeah,
one's
yeah.
got
Well,
anything. I'm seeing like 7.5 meter ray glasses and Buccaneers, or you name any brand, and
they're not selling.
they're not selling, and the people are dropping the prices on them. And
Yep.
it happily segues me into I want to talk Haynes Hunter for you for a moment, because I met the sales manager from Haynes Hunter. So I want to tell a cool boating story first. So we went
By the
out.
way, this is not a vape. This is my child's toy.
Okay, good.
Sorry, I was just
You
like,
making
look.
now? Now he's sucking on a child's toy. At least that's just not anything else.
Anyway, you're seeing
And
the Haynes
so we're
Hunter.
anchoring in a bay, Man of War, just around the corner from Man of War Bay. This is pre-Christmas. We're in the
Mm-hmm.
white glass, and we see this old wooden yacht. Think of like this. I don't want to like go down a different path. Think of Scott Watson's Blade. You know that boat, like quite old, wooden, only about 25 foot, and it's
Oh
got like
yeah.
30 people on it, with
Oh
music
Jesus.
blaring, and the thing's like
Yeah.
yawling over to one side. And we anchored in the bay. The bay's full of boats. We
Yep.
paddleboarded around the bay, and this guy goes, "Come on, you're not going to have a beer with us." So I went over, and his name's Tobias. And if he's listening, kia ora, bro. Good to see you. He was the head salesman for Haynes Hunter. So him and I
And
got
he's got a sailboat, an
no,
old
no.
sailboat.
He was just invited on this boat, so it was so cool. These people just all like came together, and like this guy had just done up this yacht, so everyone climbed on board and was celebrating. And there was like a core group of people that knew each other, but everyone else was just people from the bay who had all like got there on their boats. All people about our age who had yachts, fizz boats, you name it. And so anyway,
Fantastic.
yeah, it was cool. It was a great night, and definitely a very sore morning the next morning.
Oh, did you get on it?
Oh, bro, did we get on it? Yeah, it was a good night. Good night in Man of War Bay. If you were in the bay that night and you weren't on our boat, I apologize profusely for the noise. But I met this guy from Haynes Hunter. Now he has a SF 635, I think it is.
Yeah. 635. Yep.
Now the newer shape.
Yep. Yep. I'm just gonna look it up just to
Yeah,
get my
yeah. Look
bearings.
it up. I'll put it.
SF 635. Yep.
Yeah. Now those that listen to, we have briefly talked
Ah
about Haynes
yes.
Hunters before, and we've always said fantastic hulls, but way like full of furniture, and the interiors have just probably haven't kept up with um, probably like the New Zealand boaty, like fixed seats in the rear, like a central walk-through, which was for me never quite worked. Um, and just a few little things like that, that when you look at what the competition was doing, where they had like cool places to store things, the innovative storage ideas, and
Mm.
where they just looked a bit old fashioned, despite the fact
Yep.
they're brilliant hulls. Well, I got on this one. This is like a refreshed model, and bro,
Yep.
I was extremely impressed.
I'm just checking out the
Lots of
interior
furniture,
now.
lots of
Quite
cool.
nice.
So two king and queen seats, but storage underneath. Heaps of
You
room.
know I love the big bench seat on the back. You know I love that.
Yeah, so I'm just hope you're looking at the right one here.
I'm just do you want me to send you a link?
Yeah, you send me a
I'll
link of the
just
one you're looking at, because
yeah.
it's really important, because it's interesting, because then we met up with a guy who had the older one, the SF, I think they're called,
Yeah.
SF 600, and that was less than impressive.
Oh, okay.
Cool
Let's look
hull,
at that.
but yeah, just yeah,
It's a
just
lot of money though, bro. Like 160
okay.
grand.
That's not it. That's not it. That's the two new one. That is their new model, the SF 635. I really rate that boat. That's a cool one. That we talked about
That's
that on
a,
a previous podcast.
I'd have that.
Well, okay, it's a 7. Oh man, I can't believe I'm doing this on the podcast. I thought I was all ready to go. It is a um SF. Oh, come back to me on it. But bro,
Okay.
just while I'm searching for it, tell me what you've always thought about Haynes Hunter boats.
Oh, like the like a not like how do you describe it? Like a better than a Toyota Corolla, but like a real nice Toyota Camry or something. You just know you're going to get. You know what you're going to get. You know
Yeah,
you're going to get a good ride, enough power, and you can take the family everywhere.
yeah,
You know?
definitely probably one of the best riding boats round.
Yeah. You know what you're going to get. You know it's going to be good.
Yeah,
Um,
it got me thinking. Like, maybe we've been harsh. Maybe our association with them is a bit old, is a bit like outdated. Maybe that some of these new ones have come on. SF660. Damn, that's what it was.
SF
SF660.
SF660. I'll check it
Haynes
out.
Hunter SF660.
So this is the one that you went on.
This is the one I went on, and I reckon these are seriously cool. Now they
And
do a
are you
hard
talking about the
top.
new one or like 2008 or?
So if you're looking, this was a 2008 one. So if you're looking at that Trade Me thing, it's the second one down.
Ah, yes, I've got this. Oh, is this the one that was for sale?
This was just about. This was one he had it. So he worked for Haynes Hunter. So clearly he I'm sure he would have got a deal on it. I didn't ask him, but what do you think about that, bro? Still quite a basic layout in some
Yeah, I do
ways.
like that king and queen seat that, that's quite cool with the lift up storage
Heaps
and
of
all like
room
that.
at the back. They do
The
a hard top as well.
I do prefer though, like see it's got that the seats that have storage underneath them in the back, but they're still recessed.
Yeah,
I prefer the bench seat.
yeah,
That's like if I was to be in terms of what I like, because that's one of the key things of that cheap boat of mine was I was like, holy cow, there's a bench seat across the back, like what that old boat of mine that I had, that Radicat thing.
yeah.
Just love that from a social point of view, because what is a boat? It's a social thing.
That's it.
Well, for
Yeah,
for us, but
yeah,
this here, like, yeah, mate, it looks like a weapon. You look at this hull and you think, Jesus, this is going to punch through everything.
yeah. And it's funny because if like if I the whole thing, if I won lotto or if I had some money and I had just like 100 grand to spend on a boat, we've talked a lot about Huntsmans. We've talked a lot about obviously Rayglass now that I own one. We've talked a lot about lots of different brands, but that wouldn't have been a brand I traditionally would have given much thought to. I would have thought Epic Hull, but maybe not. But I don't know. I just think it was really interesting. We tied the two up side by side, the Rayglass and the Haynes Hunter, and shit, the Haynes Hunter felt about 10 times more seaworthy.
Than the Ray Glass.
Yeah, really higher gunnels, wider gunnels, probably more sturdy at rest if I had to really, really be picky.
Than
Yeah,
your Ray Glass, because
yeah,
your Ray Glass
and
pushed through the snot when you took me out that day and you smacked me around, and I was like, that was
oh,
okay.
yeah, look, and I love my boat. I'm not gonna rip it too much, but this thing felt like it was another level again. It was really interesting.
Huh, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
and you get to know boats pretty quick.
yeah, you do, and it just was tying them up side by side. I was like, wow, this thing's got definitely a bit more guts to it. Would I gun to my head if they were the same money? Like, would I buy it? I don't know because the problem is that Hank, they're not the same money. They're probably 20 or 30 grand different. So I don't know. Just
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
it.
food for thought. Anyway, it was a brand that we'd never really sort of talked about. All given much thought to. But we had talked about that 535, which is a cool boat, but their bigger ones never really featured before. So yeah, I don't know what that was my sort of thoughts on that.
That's interesting, bro. That you say that. I will go and have a look at a few more. Well, I'll tell you about a boat that I went and checked out recently.
Yes.
So I had some time with Piper,
Yeah.
and I was like, we're up in Kapiti Ways, hanging out with the in-laws, and I went to Boat City
Yeah.
in Kapiti, main road. And I always remember going to Wellington, and I thought, I'm going to check out some boats.
Yeah.
What do they got? And you chuck Piper on a boat, and she runs around like a headless chook. She just loves it, eh?
Yeah.
What did I see that was what new there that they're making again? Challenger, those strakeless
Yeah.
fiberglass hulls.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
started making those again. That was cool to put my bum in one of those.
What do you
Um,
rate it?
it's not at the Haynes Hunter, what do you call it, CSB Huntsman level,
Yeah.
but I've been in them for a ride and they're pretty impressive, eh?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you?
Pardon?
But are you?
Nah, nah.
No.
I'll tell you also what's not a bit of me, but Fryan have started making boats again.
I have seen this. You've taken the words out of my mouth. There's a few. There's a few. I got to eat a humble pie on a couple of boats today, so we'll start with Fryan. What did you?
It was it
What
was
do you
it was all
think?
right for 98 grand for a new boat with a 140 Suzuki on the back with a cage around the motor. You know that thing?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's bro, it's a lot of boat.
It
It's a
is a
lot
lot
of
of
boat.
boat, and without testing one, who knows? I mean, the old ones were, let's be honest,
Yeah,
basic.
we don't need to go there. I also saw a fly fin, which I thought was pretty cool. The 17-footer.
Yeah.
Um, that's I don't know whether I think they're made in Hamilton or Tauranga or something like that. That was pretty cool to see because I've seen them in the articles heaps, but it was cool to finally put my bum in one.
Yeah.
But one that I was really intrigued by, so because I saw one and I thought it's alloy obviously because I'm going to say the weld quality and finish on one was very average, right?
Okay.
And then I saw another one, and the weld quality and finish was like just so much better. And it was like the owner or whatever spec had specced it up. And I didn't realize you could spec weld quality, but
Oh,
or maybe a different person building it. But
well, you can.
Senator.
Senator. So sorry, you can spec weld quality.
No, I didn't. I'm just joking. Like
Oh,
I'm just
sorry. I
saying,
thought you
like
were
how can they
serious.
vary? How can they vary so much?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I went in one. It was a Senator RH 650, and they had another one which is like the same thing, 650, but with a shorter cabin. And I was pretty disappointed about one of them. And then when I went into the other one with the bigger cabin, and it also had the big cage around the motor, you know how you got that like great for jigging for kings off and shit.
Yeah.
I thought this is actually pretty nice. But yeah, really hit or miss, on the
On the
weld
welds.
quality. I was like, far out. Oh, enclosed is what it was called.
Closed. Okay. Well, while
Um,
we're talking alloy, then I've got some humble pie to eat.
I'll go for it.
What is the name of the brand of boat that you have pushed so hard on this podcast? You absolutely
Yes,
weak have
yes,
done.
yes, yes. Who is making waves in the industry
They
and just
are, they
paving the way for everyone to follow and just sit in their wake because there's so many leagues ahead?
are
Who is it?
Innovision
Bang.
boats, which I've famously said on this podcast, are some of the most ugly boats to take the ocean.
I'm so glad you're going to take your words back right now.
Have not only gone big in Australia, and the Captain, if anyone follows the YouTube channel, the Captain's just done a review of their boats taking off in Australia. So that's so good for them, such a good market.
Which Innovision in particular
Okay,
are
well,
you
the
looking
one
at?
I really like, I can't believe I'm saying this, is the Venture walk around.
Yep,
Okay. And that was
yep.
featured
That
in
was
that
just in the
video.
latest magazine.
And I thought that was clever. That
Yep.
was really, really clever. Just some of the
Well,
design. I actually think they maybe softened some of those rough edges I didn't like about that early design.
and the boat's name, Estera.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
and that's
With the yellow upholstery,
yellow
like
upholstery. Yeah, just a lovely little touch of color. The guy, I heard his story too of how he started, and I'd love to get him on here if you're listening at all.
well, no, he shouldn't listen to you, bro.
Well, he
Like,
should be if he's not always going
Who
to
has
come
been
on.
a fan from the get go, and always said really like these, and then you've been, oh no, I'd rather play with my Willie.
Oh, there's a
You
bit.
know,
To be fair, there's lots of things I'd rather not do. You know, that's one of my
but
favorite.
how sick is that? How sick is that in a Vision A?
It's cool that it's and they're going offshore, and I always love to see a company like that do well. But yes, I'll admit that one they have got it right. I
Mm-hmm.
still stand by some of their ones, particularly the shorter ones. I'm just not so sure about that bow design. I'm not talking about the axe bow. I'm talking about how it comes along, almost like the shear line, I guess it is, how it
And then
rises.
drops away.
Yeah, I'm still not 100% sure on that. I associate it with some sort of like Viking boat.
Warship, bro. It's
Yeah,
like I'm going in to do battle.
yeah.
Come here. I'm gonna eat shit and
But
fucking smack
I,
you up.
I will happily admit on film that I've changed my opinion. That was a cool boat and a really cool review, and I love the story of the guy too. So um,
He's got a cool name, eh? Miniopoto or something is his last
yeah,
name. I thought,
yeah,
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 what a cool last name.
yeah. So yeah, I will give you that one, bro. You saw through the ugliness initially, and that is a seriously cool boat.
Seriously, seriously cool. And you got to remember how their shear lines fall away on the earlier ones is quite different to their newer ones. Like they've obviously been working on their designs and stuff the whole time.
That's right, so I still stand by the fact those early ones are a bit hit and miss. Moving along too to another alloy boat, or
That what
two.
you're gonna go and tell me that you actually like now,
Well, Scott and Mig, have you seen their new boat?
bro? What's the donkey on the back and how sexy is it?
So I don't get it. Like they had that other 850, whatever it was, with the twin outboards, and I
Yep,
thought that's everything you need. It had the Hellmaster, like good for them for jigging, and all of a sudden that's gone. But they feel like
yep,
they only had it for 5 minutes, and
yep.
now they've got this another one with a really cool wrap, and this one big huge Honda
V8 Honda.
V8 Honda on the back. I
How sick!
cannot wait to hear. Cannot wait to hear how that goes.
How sick though, eh? Like
Yeah,
big V8 Honda. Like, doesn't that just get you a bit excited,
oh,
Mark?
it does, but I'm interested. I want to talk to him, and I'm leaving Meg alone because if you follow him on Instagram, he's hurt his finger quite badly by the look of it.
Yeah, I emailed the fella and said, "Bro, I hope you're okay." And he's
Yeah,
like, "Bro, he sleeved his finger racing stock cars.
jeez, that's not good.
Something about a grease nipple in the around the gear knob or something. Bloody caught his wedding ring and
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, not good. If you're listening, mate, all the best. I hope you can get back
yeah, yeah.
soon. But hey, I'm sure the pain has eased a little bit by looking out the window and seeing that weapon in your driveway.
Oh, bro, and they've got new sponsorship for the Ute too. I think.
Yeah, the big American thing, eh?
No, I think they've got a different one now.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just gonna have a little quick look and just see. Yeah, Nissan.
Oh, okay. And they've got the one up. Is it still a Navara that ute, or is it a cut above that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I didn't have a close look, but I thought, oh yeah, cool, cool.
Cool. Good
Keen
on them.
to,
Well, we're looking forward to the new season. Now,
yeah.
sticking with 30s for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
your mate, Isabel.
Oh yeah. Did you email her back, bro? Because I have to admit I haven't. My bad.
No, I have emailed her back. I'm glad we're sorting out show admin halfway through. But yes, I have emailed her back. But
Good, good, good.
why I was introducing it is she's almost finished her boat, which is also an 850. And
Yes.
for those that don't know, this is Isabel, works for Surtees, very kindly reached out to us and told us about the boat she was building, which was sort of I almost get the feeling it was like a project to the side of the factory. She was just building it in the spare time and just as she had money and things like that, right?
Yeah, with one of her mates or something. It was quite cool. Quite cool
Yeah, that's
story.
right. So um, in that email, she said the boat's almost done.
Oh,
So
wicked,
I'm thinking you
wicked.
and I need to go down there at some point and
But just remember that I've got a baby due on the 26th of March. Hence why we had the issue of helping out for me on the.
yes, yes, you do have a baby. So Isabel, that's just again, we'll sort out the admin on the podcast. Isabel, we are keen. I'm definitely keen to come check out
Yeah,
you.
Jake's keen. Jake's
I
keen.
mean,
Yeah.
Christian has no opinion on it anyway. Just look what he said about that senator in their nasty worlds. He's just a nasty bug. I wouldn't let him anywhere near your boat. Take me
Hold
out.
up, hold up, hold up, hold up. I'm giving Senator a bum's rush, and we're talking about Surtees here. I thought she'd be stoked about that.
Well, yeah, no, it just shows though that you're just so quick to just rip these manufacturers apart.
Yes, and
Well, this is her side project. I was going to go and be, you know, I was going to sort of talk up the fact that we're so pleased at what she's done, and I genuinely think it's a cool thing to do. Like she's built a
oh, bro,
big boat
epic,
as a side project, so I'm keen to go see
epic,
how.
eh? No, we're keen to see this thing, bloody this huge beast of a boat, and
Yeah,
hopefully she takes it for a spin on it.
yeah, absolutely. I wonder if she's gone with the big Honda V8. I suspect not, but
Hopefully, big
yeah.
big stonk, maybe two of them. Oh, oh,
Oh.
oh.
easy when you
They are
sponsor
pretty.
out. A little bit harder when you
Yeah.
actually pay me out.
I don't actually know how much that is one. Have you seen how much one is?
Oh, I can't imagine you're talking under 50 or 60 grand.
All right, I'll do a bit of while you're talking away. I'll find.
Well,
Hey, with Isabel, when was that fishing comp? The Surtees fishing comp. It's coming up
that's a
in
really
March.
good
I
point
remember it
too.
was going to
Yeah,
be.
I knew you wouldn't be up for that, and I knew I'm tied up with it too. Just
Oh yeah.
um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, well, we're moving into our house, and of course Christian's got his baby on the way, so yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
admin getting in the way of boating. Anyway,
Ah,
while Christian's
eighth,
quickly looking up there,
8th and 9th March. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
is
Right.
I've been doing some stick baiting and jigging.
Yes.
A cool stick
Yes. Good.
baiting mission in Whangaroa Harbour, and all caught all the action on camera. So if you head over to our YouTube channel at Unable Seaman,
And
you'll
what's
see
your rig?
it.
What's your rig for the old?
So it's that
What is
dial.
it?
Sorry, it's the Okuma. Okuma Air. Help me out here. I can.
Andros?
Back.
No. Okuma. It's blue.
It's blue.
Azeros or
Is there
Azeros or
something
something.
like that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've got
So,
one too.
so I've got it on a stick bait rod and a jig rod. I can obviously chop between the two. So we went out to Whangaroa Harbour and just fished the entrance. So we're heading our way out, and I threw the stick bait in, plenty of current. Anyone who knows Whangaroa Harbour, it's a big harbour, and all this water goes through a channel that's only maybe a couple of 100 meters wide. So you often see people fishing there, live baiting, going
Hmm.
for kingies. I threw this stick bait in, and there was this explosion. Just bang, hold it, probably 10 big kingies. Bang, hook done. And just could not get it under control. Gone. Fought it for a couple of minutes. Gone. Threw another one out. Same deal. Third one finally got it right. We had to sort of tow it away,
Yeah, yeah.
and oh, so much fun! Just such good action. The surface strikes of stick baiting. It's my new favorite type of fishing.
Right. It is deadly. But it's one of those ones where if you're going to do it, you've just got to take your metal and your lures and nothing else, and you've really got to focus on it, eh?
Yeah, yeah. You
Like
do.
around Wellington here, it's a bit tougher to do it, especially on the Kapiti side. So there's a couple of spots around Kapiti Island that you can do, but otherwise you're really trying to pull them to the surface with jigs and then cast for them that way off the pinnacles, which can be a
Yeah,
bit tough. Or being an opportunist and waiting for them to come to the surface or be around surface strikes.
yeah. It's definitely a patience type of fishing. Again, you're trying to find scenarios where they'll be, and even that sometimes they're there and they won't. The other thing I
Oh
was
yeah,
thinking about stick baits too. So I just fish with like a cheap $20-$25 stick bait from Burns Co. By the way, I'm thinking of getting some off Timu, and put a pin in that when I come back to you about Timu jigs in a second. But I have seen.
and like everyone on the podcast can be like screaming at you, Jake, don't support those bastards.
Well, here's my thing. If anyone who watches the lateral
It's my
line
thing.
is that there's these cool New Zealand made stick baits, right? But they're like hundreds of dollars each.
Yeah, yeah,
And if you're flicking it towards rocks and headlands or anything like that,
yeah.
and you get dusted, like
Mm-hmm. Yep,
I
yep.
I know
I
they
get you,
swim
bro.
better. There's no denying they swim better. I've watched videos; they swim 10 times better than these Burns Co pieces of shit. I'm going to be honest with you. But
But
I'd rather lose a $25 lure than a $250 lure every day of the week.
100%, bro. I'm with you there. I'm
Yeah,
definitely with you there. Yeah,
and then I
definitely.
want to talk Timu. Like, what do you think of Timu fishing gear?
I've never bought anything off Temu. I bought some shit off AliExpress. Is that the same?
Well, I think it same diff. Yeah,
Different? Is Temu like the Indian version or something? It just sounds Indian.
I think it might be Chinese actually, but
So they're
yeah,
both Chinese.
yeah,
Yeah, okay. Now I know 3/5 of diddly tit about Temu, bro.
yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to try some Timu ones. I've decided.
Because you
My,
had some Temu lures when I came up to see you last time. Like
yeah,
these, like what were
the
they
slow
called? What
jig.
do you call like slow jigs? And they were all good.
Yeah, they fished all right. I've hardly targeted snapper this summer, so I can't report too much. Sort of left them alone.
Well,
Decided to go.
you no, you left them alone from me and Becky's kids to catch, and you were just sitting there playing with your bud.
Uh, man, I can't get any lies past you.
Oh, I loved it.
I say I've
Yeah.
left them
Oh,
alone.
come up and see me, bro. Come and see me. What snapper everywhere? And I'm like, yeah, yeah, mean. and then I turn up, and now he's claiming he hasn't been snapper fishing.
I've still got to throw that video together of you getting that bloody good one on a kid stick. Christian caught a really good snapper. I'll give him a pump here. A really good snapper on one of those bloody kid sticks things.
Yeah,
The boys had just sort of chucked in the rod holder and left.
with no braid, it was nylon. It
And
was
it was
pretty
that
funny.
nylon, that rubbish nylon, at about a bloody kilo breaking strain.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Christian nailed this bloody good snapper, and right on the mussel farm too, wasn't it?
Oh, hilarious, eh?
It was
Hilarious.
against you, and you cracked it. You've, I was well impressed. I didn't think you had that in you.
Neither, bro. And especially after all the grief you give me, I thought, jeepers, I'm gonna try and pull a team here together.
Yeah, you did. I was seriously impressed. But
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
now, one last boat I want to talk to you about.
Yes,
Now, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think
closing my eyes.
about sailing around the world. Okay, like
Yes,
Parlay. Anyone who's watched Parlay?
sailing La Vagabond.
Yep, sailing a vagabond. And I
Yeah,
have found the boat for you. Now you will have
boat
seen it.
of my
Just sent it
dreams.
to you. An XS 14 catamaran. So
Hold up,
14 meters.
you've just sent it to me
Just sent you the
on
link. These things
36
are
degrees
seriously
multi
awesome.
hull.
So 36 degrees is the brokers.
Holy Jesus, this is beautiful.
I know.
Oh, yes. In the latest boating magazine, or the
Yeah.
one before that.
So
Yes.
I saw one down Opua. They're like
Did you in real life?
yeah, so they're 14-meter cat. They are beautifully appointed. If you're listening, go to type in XS 14 into Google, or go to 36 degrees brokers and type in XS as on the search. They've got a couple of different models here, but this 14-meter cat, just stunning. But they're fast too.
I'm gonna go through the photos here, bro. I'm quite excited.
So
Because
we love cats.
yes.
We've talked about cats. In our very first episode, we talked about cats and the brilliant indoor-outdoor flow, heaps of room. I'm watching that Parlay YouTube channel. I'm just loving the cat for like cruising and
And
stuff.
it's like, what a good dude, eh? Like how he goes and picks up one, does it up with his mates,
Yeah,
doesn't make it look easy. Like he gives you the true,
yeah.
honest opinion of them.
Oh, and he was
And
very blunt about that one's a lagoon, isn't it? So and
yeah, the bulkhead issue or whatever, eh?
crikey, he's had some issues with that thing.
Man, this thing just looks amazing with that, like, just the seating in the back.
Yeah,
Oh, that is beautiful. Oh, that oh, bro, like, win lotto boat, eh?
yeah.
Hello.
That's something you'd live on, eh? Like you'd just buy
Bro,
that and you'd sail around the world and you'd live on it. And so even if you're listening and you're a hardcore fisherman, take your time to have a look at this. And
you would. You totally would.
you
Because
would.
when I was reading about it, they had, like, you could either opt for a whatever standard rig, or if you were a bit more racy, you could get like a more powerful rig setup that had about 15% more sail area.
Yeah,
And that
nice.
just sounded epic, like a gunboat.
Yeah.
How much do they go for? What's the? Because it
I
says inquire today.
yeah, I don't have pricing. I imagine you're talking a couple of mil. Yeah,
I
I
just want
don't
to go.
think
I'm
you
gonna have. I'm gonna do some
provide
research
pricing.
on this one.
I'm sure you'll be able to do it. We as you know on this podcast, we sort of market ourselves as boaters as opposed to just hardcore fishermen people, particularly given Christian's history with catching fish. And I think that cat just sums up everything we love about boating. Heaps of room. Cats obviously have engines, so you can still motor to places and fish, and you could probably jig off it. So heaps of room across the back, all your mates on it, and then just that ability to turn the engines off and just enjoy a lovely afternoon sail. And I think the more and more we're talking about this off air. Oh, Christian's got a price for us. Interject with a price.
960,000 for the one that was reviewed on Yachting World. four hundred thirty-six
New
thousand
Zealand dollars?
pounds. Yeah. So 436,000 pounds, or 960-ish thousand New Zealand dollars.
Okay, now that sounds like a lot, but if you compare that to a batch, that's a cheap batch.
Yes, it is a cheap batch.
And it's a batch, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, hands down, hands down. It does have a few maintenance things you need to do though, like yeah, like getting a berth for that thing might cost a little bit. It'll
Yeah,
be more than
yeah.
$6,000 a year,
But we
but it's epic.
we were talking off air before we came on about how tricky the weather's been this summer. Not only
Oh,
the weather, but just the forecasts cannot get it right, particularly with wind. And it's caught both of us out, pissed us off a few times. I thought with a cat though, like in the New Zealand summer, I wonder if New Zealand's like the ultimate place to own a boat like that, in the sense that there is normally always some wind. There's a sea breeze.
mm-hmm.
There's wind. Like you can go out, hit your jigging spots, whack the sails up, fish, and sail home.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Yeah,
Oh, we're getting a bit of feedback here, eh, bro?
are we?
Well, you? Oh, no, you're okay. Sweet. Oh, mate, like I look at Wellington, for example, and I see 15 knots come in, and it's going to be there for 3 days, and I just think, how mint would it be just to sail across the Cook Strait,
Yeah,
check it out, hang out there. If it dies off, brilliant. If it doesn't, have an awesome time, and then sail back.
yeah. I just think it's, particularly the way the price of petrol and stuff's going. Yeah, I mean that's obviously right at the top end of the spectrum, 900 and something $1,000 for a cat. But
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
I'm
this
just looking here, mate. This thing cruises at like 10 to 12 knots.
sailing
It's wicked.
on the motors.
No, on the sails, bro.
Yeah,
Like
that's quick when you're sailing.
and then it goes. What is it? It sails upwind at 6 to 7 knots. That's all good.
That's really good for a cat too. Anyone who doesn't know much about sailing is listening. Catamarans always faster because you have the big keel in the water with the weight and the drag, but traditionally can't point as close to the wind. Now, pointing meaning if the wind's coming on your face,
How close can you get?
how close you can sail to that angle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
That's
that's really
that's
that's
pretty
good.
impressive, bro.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I'd have one.
Yeah.
Are we
Now,
going to go Harvey's? Are we?
well, we might have to go Harvey's. This when this podcast takes off and starts making us millions. I think it's made about $1.60 so far. So
Oh
um,
shit, man. Oh, I'm going to quit my job now then.
we're
Sweet.
getting there. Speaking of that, we have the Auckland on the Water Boat Show coming up in about 2 or 3 weeks' time, which I'm going to go to, and I can't wait to see all the models. That's probably when we'll check in next. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited about getting on board some of these boats again.
Mate, what are
Looking,
you most excited about? Innovision?
yeah. Well, if they're, I don't know if they go to this one, but if they're there, I will go there with a humble pie. But there's
I hope
one
you say
boat.
sorry to him. Will you say sorry
Well,
to him?
there's one boat that I'm going to have to say sorry to because
Ooh.
there's a brand there that we love getting on, Dicky, and we've called them out before for their customer service. But God, we
Oh,
love getting
ouch.
on the boats. We love being on those Dickies, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, here is a spanner in the works. Christian Jensen, our dog of the month, this month
Oh no.
is.
Oh no.
I am sending you. You're not going to believe it. Now, is there worse boats out there? Yes.
Oh no.
You've seen
Oh
some of our
no.
dogs of the month. But this
No.
is a Dicky. Dicky boats, who
Oh.
we have talked so much about how beautiful they are, how well made, how we'd love to have one. We've compared them against other boats, and they normally feature pretty well, although we love that Makira too. We'll come back to them in a second. But they have a 28 semi fly on Trade Me for
Yeah, what is
$240,000. And I'm sorry, it looks like it was designed by a kid. Bro,
it's one of their early ones. It's their
it's
oh, what do they call it again? It's like their sports saloon or something.
bro. Am
No.
I right? Is that our dog of the month? Have we just made a
Oh.
Dickie a dog of the month?
Which is it's great because the description says, "Here's your chance to grab something special." A 2008 Dickie semi-flight.
Special needs.
Yes, special. He's
It
oh,
is
you bet.
it is
Oh,
ugly.
bro.
I'm just that's why I was so shocked because as I said, we
It
Dickie
is. It's
do some
fucking
lovely
ugly.
boats, and this is just not one of them. I don't know what he was thinking when he designed this.
Well, yeah. I'm just going into the their early ones. So if you go
Yeah,
into their website, it's sitting there right now. The Semi-Fly 28. Actually, that exact one
yeah.
is, I'm pretty sure, is sitting in their website. Do you want me to send you the
So,
link?
so yeah, I've sent you that. So just for those watching, probably a good time to
Oh,
plug our or listening, I should say, a good time to plug our Instagram at Unable Seaman, and that's of course where we put photos of all the boats we talk about, including our dog of the month. Now,
yeah. I'm going to take a screenshot of one particular angle that does it no good and send it to you, okay?
oh yeah, it's on their website too. Semi-Fly 28. If you're at home and you're following along, it's
Yes. Hey,
it's
you gotta admit it when you get it wrong, eh? And did they get it wrong?
do they get it
Is there
wrong?
a chat in our thing here? Can I send you a chat? No, it must be a messenger as well.
Yeah.
Here we go, bro. Check this out. I've just sent you one of their worst angles. I want to see your
Oh
face when you look at that.
yeah. Again, I'll post that to our Instagram. It's that black hardtop just really does not do anything for it, does it? Look, hey, we never thought it would happen. A Dickie is our dog of the month, but I saw it. Normally, we find some beaten up old thing on someone's backyard on Facebook Marketplace.
What was that one that I sent you? And it had like a roof canopy, a truck canopy, and you could fold it
That was
forward.
so
You
good.
access the anchor.
Yeah. So to explain to the listeners again, it's on our that one is on our Instagram already. Someone tried to fit a hard top to a dinghy, and what they put was a truck canopy. You know, you have a ute and you have your canopy that you. Well, they put that on backwards, and that was the windscreen.
Oh, it was great. I was
Oh,
like, oh, it was just such a good call
it
that
was
someone did. I was like, I could see what you're trying to do.
yeah,
So practical, but far out.
awful.
Fucking duck.
I think again like that just because we expect much more from Dickie that is really quite punishing. I'll tell you one.
Quite punishing.
Going back to the boat show very quickly. Makaira boats. We've talked about them. We've mentioned them on the podcast. They have reached out. They're actually made up in Kitty Kitty here where I'm living, so I am keen
Are
to.
you going to go say hi to them?
I definitely am. I just like I say, I've just moved up here and I've been full on, but I definitely want to touch base with them, and they are going to be at the boat show. I'm sure of it, and I
Yeah.
am really looking forward to getting on that model we talked about last time.
Actually, talking about that, Chelsea and I were talking when we this Christmas coming. She wants to come and see you up in Kitty Kitty.
Beautiful, man.
So
Well, there'll be a
so
video for it. Well, there's a left time for the snapper population to replenish after I've emptied it, and I'm sure even you could catch one, bro.
that'd be lovely. So let us book into your what's it called, that area, that self-contained unit down
Oh,
the
hit
back.
the
'Cause I'm
little, the
pretty
little
sure.
yep. Lock it
Yeah,
in, bro.
what
Lock.
would we have? We'd have like a 9-month-old at that stage, and Piper would be almost 3. So that'd probably be a bit too much for you in
Oh,
your house.
that's why we'll just take two. Bring your boat, and the kids and the woman can go on one, and
Yep.
we'll go on the spray glass.
Oh, I thought I'd take you in the Benito.
Oh, well, again, we'll have to do a video review. There's people want to hear about your new boat. And when I say people, one listener, Jacob, I can't remember his surname, but if you listen,
Another Jacob. There's
another
another
Jacob,
Jacob.
another Jacob, not me, and he is gagging to hear about your boat.
I
So
wonder if he's the guy that tried to buy my boat off me for nothing.
maybe that's why he wanted an honest review.
Yeah. Well, I gave him to it. You
Yeah,
know, for the money, get one.
yeah, yeah. Anyway, hey, bro, look, we'll leave it there because I know you are on a you're trying to get lots of sleep before baby comes, and
Mm.
just want to say on air, all the best for baby number 2. I saw Chelsea walked in the background earlier, and she is moments away from popping.
Oh
So
yeah,
next time you hear from us will be post boat show. So we'll be full of the joys of
probably
life there,
post
full of
baby too.
yarns. Yeah, and we'll have plenty to report back from there. I will also have posted a couple of videos um, involving us fishing, including Christian catching a snapper on the kid stick, which I'm yet to make, as well
I
as
never get anything good. Like, come
yeah.
on, give me a good video.
There's always a protagonist and a hero, you know.
Okay, so am I the hero? I'm
And
sort
a
of the quiet
great
achiever,
competition
aren't
I
I?
put on a jig, which I'll leave there because that is a cool video, which I can't wait to show everyone. As always, thank you so much for following along at Unable Seaman on Instagram, at Enable Seaman on YouTube. Check us out there in our videos. Christian Jensen, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. We will touch base after the boat show, and I'm sure you'll have plenty more bags under your eyes then.
Cheers.
See you, mate.
See ya.